This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for.
I'm very happy that that they arrested him. But I mean, listen, there is a lot of law, in law enforcement, you're never gonna turn away luck. I don't know how close they were. I don't know, where they were actively in their investigation. But this guy got turned in by his parents, by his father and family. They got very lucky. I would be. We're never going to know. We're never going to know, had that not happened, how long this would have taken. I was just disappointed as to the way this was handled. I think that the drip of information that was, first he tweeted that they got him. An hour later, that oh no, we're after an interview. It's not him. That is the most rookie thing ever. You never do that, ever. I like Kash, but when I saw that, with the experience that I have in my former life, I just could not believe it. That is, you never get ahead of yourself in a story. You in a criminal, like a criminal case, you get ahead of yourself. You never want to do that. Take your time. But when information is pertinent, when information is the information is timely, those images of the perpetrator should have been put out immediately, right? If they can delineate, okay, he shot, he's there, this is him, get them out. Get him out. The more you wait, the more time he has. The longer the broader your search now has to be. The more he can change his appearance. I mean, with the level of resources that they had, with the surveillance that I'm sure that university had, with all of the cameras and all the people that were there, that actually sometimes can complicate things a little bit more. People don't realize that when it comes to, like, I don't know, as far as, in my former world where I was, if you were, doing a search warrant or something like that, or doing like a cell phone tracking and things of that nature, you would need a lot more information. I don't know what the feds need in order to do that type of stuff, but the more people kind of makes that a little bit more difficult, because now there's just so much meta information, metadata that's going through. The towers have so many cell phones that are bouncing off of it. But yeah, just the video alone, like you could have come up with a picture, an image, and gotten that out to the public, and that's how you're going to solve these cases. That's how these things are going to get solved. At least, again, I just don't know, because I think a lot of the problems that we see in law enforcement now, in current investigations now, is the dependency on technology, whether it be geotracking, cell phone towers, or things or even video. Like there could just be, hey, we just got to start fucking talking to people. We got to start talking to people. That's one way. Video is huge. It's been around for a long, long time. And it solves a lot of cases. Then, yeah, you can also do search warrants, tower dumps, cell phone subpoenas, things that's already when you're, when you're deep into investigation, right? And you're looking for a conviction, that's what you're going for, right? That's not the go-to when it comes to tracking somebody down. Again, maybe in their world it is, because they just have more access to that type of stuff. But I'm just talking about the investigations that I know about, that I'm aware of. That's not the go-to when you're essentially in hot pursuit of this individual. You're trying to get him as quickly as possible. You need to track things down. You need to put information out there. If you knew he had a vehicle, why was a vehicle description not out there? I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact they have damn good facial recognition. And with that other photo that they put out, God knows how long they had that photo, I guarantee you they had this guy identified. So why wasn't that disseminated out there? Why did they allow this guy to be running around in the mental state that he was, just having killed somebody in front of thousands of people, and they still allowed him to be running around there without notifying the public? Again, maybe I just don't understand it because it's above my, I'm not an FBI agent, but it's not sitting well with me.
Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilize these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilize these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local.
Yeah. So, I mean, with the photographs that he's showing here, they got, listen, I understand how facial rec works. I get it. He's wearing a hat, which is not the end of the world. As long as if you can see the brow line and stuff like that. He's got glasses on. Okay. But at this point now, we have the tech where, they're going to have a damn good idea of who the hell this is. So, in my opinion, 10 a.m. They're getting this photograph out to the public. That's a long time later. That's way more than a half a day. It's almost 24 hours later. I don't understand that. It just seems dangerous. It's not a good idea. If you're in a major city and something like this happens, a murder happens, you want that shit out there fast because you understand where it's going to go. You know where you have no idea what else is going to happen, and essentially, you could be liable for not liable, but I'm saying you could be responsible for not getting this guy sooner and him committing other crimes. You want him caught.
Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m., where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time.
So if he was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time, this press conference happened early this morning, or early on the 12th. He tweets saying that they got him and then they didn't get him. And then when they get him, he doesn't say anything. I mean, maybe he learned from his lesson before, but once you knew that this was the guy and you're down, maybe you could let the public know. It doesn't matter what time, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, people are up all night. I know people that have barely slept over this. I mean, people may think that's stupid, but you have a lot of influential right wing people, that I'm friends with, and one, they're just sick to their stomach, but two, they're also fucking scared. Like, we don't know what the hell's going on. You got guys out there assassinating people, with rifles. and you're gonna tell me 12 hours later after you get them? I don't know, man. Like I don't get it. This is 8 a.m. when this thing's airing. So, you had the information for 10 hours, 12 hours. I mean, it's not sitting right with me. And again, I like him. I like Kash. I just don't know, I don't know what's going on.
In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads.
If you guys are still here, please subscribe to the channel. One little click does me a lot of good. Small channel trying to grow. Thank you.
As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake Field Office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is a very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Hi, I'm Brian Kilmeade.
Yeah, so that's yeah, not a big fan of how it went. In the end, the final result is really all that matters. They got him. We'll see how it goes, how it progresses. And thanks a lot, guys. 6283 Talk on the X if you want to follow me. I'm John Soto. Thanks a lot.